I just bought my first laptop. It's a used HP Elitebook 845 G8 from 2021. I did consider other options, like the one you see behind me. It's a Lenovo ThinkPad T480 from 2018, I believe. Ultimately, I decided against it, and I did also consider other new options, and also did not like what I saw. So I decided for the HP laptop, and I will show you why and also the tests that I've done when buying the laptop. Now, because I did not know where the pickup for the laptop would happen, I made a tiny cheat sheet, so we'll go over it. I think it has most of the things, but if anything is missing, anything important that is, let me know in the comments down below. Now, before I show you the tests, I think it's best to explain why I chose this laptop instead of the ThinkPad. This one is newer, it's more powerful, and it's also more efficient. Not to mention that I have room for upgrades. When it comes to new laptops, they were a bit more expensive than this one, maybe more powerful because new tech. But what I saw is that most of them actually do not come with a lot of ports. Maybe they have one USB-C, two USB-A's, and that's pretty much it, and maybe an HDMI port. Now, when I'm buying new stuff, I think most of us want to get as much as you can for the money. I think this one was a very good deal, even though the only thing that was shown on the image was the laptop opened. And that's pretty much it. Everything else was in the description. Now, if we go by my checklist, what can you do with the laptop when you first see it and get it in hand? Maybe you want to do a quick bend test. This one I think is aluminum, maybe some kind of magnesium alloy. It's metal, so it does not bend much. Then you have the hinge test. You hear any creaking, maybe do 3 to 5 openings and closings. If anything sounds off or feels off, just walk away. So everything's good on the hinges. Next up, what can we do once the laptop is opened? Maybe you can feel the keys. Do they appear to be working okay? If yes, we can proceed. Power on the laptop. Maybe the battery is... Now that you went over the keyboard, you can power on the PC. Now in this case, my battery just died, so it's also a good idea to test if the laptop charges. So I guess the battery power ran out, and I think this also means that the button battery, which is like this small, the laptop battery, the one inside the motherboard, is empty, and the time is incorrect, and I have to set it up. And this is also a good way to test if you can actually get into the BIOS or if the BIOS is locked. If the BIOS is locked, because the laptop was used by a business, then you should also pretty much walk away, as you will not be able to get into the BIOS. Now in this case I did not have to go into BIOS to set anything up, it just works, so the battery was dead, I believe. Even though it shows, well, maybe just that the battery is charging, but I don't think it should be empty. So we'll take a look. So battery status 61%, so no idea why the laptop did not want to turn on, because I doubt it charges this fast. Maybe you could hear the fans. It's not that loud, but it is noticeable. Now the first thing that anyone can do is to check the system specs. So Ctrl-Shift-Escape, at least on Windows. Then you'll want to go to Performance, and you can pretty much click on all of the sections. So the CPU in this case is AMD Ryzen 7 Pro 5850U. The laptop is currently available on the market, while cheaper they use the older version and only 4650. So this one is a lot more powerful. When it comes to memory, also important, 16 gigabytes, and then check the slot usage. This one has one of two. So it's good that I have 16 gigabytes, but because I have a Ryzen CPU, it would ideally need 2 slots. So 2 populated slots to perform optimally. Now when it comes to modern laptops and older cheaper ones, most of them will have the memory soldered in, meaning that you cannot do any upgrades in the future. For this one, I'll be able to do that. Then we have the Wi-Fi connectivity. I think this one is already connected. Otherwise, you should check also the Wi-Fi connectivity if it works. In this case, it does. And the GPU, this one is integrated, so nothing much we can actually test. And this also means that we can't really play any games. At least not any modern and demanding games. Next thing that we'll want to do is obviously test the keyboard, if it actually types. So you can make a new text document, open it up, and simply start typing in. And you want to see if all of the keys register. And you could even connect, once the Wi-Fi is working, connect to a website so you can do a typing test. So all of this was working for me, so the typing test was done and complete. Now because this is a multimedia device, it's portable and you want to connect for meetings, you want to check if the camera is working, if the microphone is working, and if you have any sounds. So if the speakers work. This laptop has a high quality Bang & Olufsen solution. I did not really know what that is, but supposedly in audio world this is high quality. So first test the camera. You have the camera app. So open that up and we do see that the camera is working just fine. When it comes to audio, we should have something. Let's see, sound settings. We have the microphone down here and we should be able to make a test. So we have a microphone test, start the test. This is just a test of the microphone, test 1, 2, 3. And you can play the recording and the volume here was set to 15%. This is just a test of the microphone, test 1, 2, 3. So the microphone is working and also the speakers work. What you may want to test next is how this behaves in productivity when you have multiple tabs opened. And one way to do that is to open a bunch of YouTube tabs and play them simultaneously, preferably in 4K. Well, that depends on the laptop that you have. Now when I've done this test for the first time, I think some commercial played really loudly, and even though the volume was set to 50% on the laptop, I got quite a jump scare. So this play is really nice. It doesn't really take a lot of resources, as you can see, even though I have 4 tabs playing in the back. When it comes to privacy, you have 2 options, at least on this laptop. One is this latch on the top, so we'll launch the camera app again. If we simply slide it from one side to the other, we have the privacy enabled, just like that. And the other option is when you press the F2 button, but this will depend on the panel that you have. In this case, I just have the normal chip panel. So if this was the high quality privacy one, you would not see anything from this angle. You would only be able to see the image when you look at it straight on. So when it comes to upgradability, I still have that option to replace the panel if I need it. Now, since the battery is a little bit strange in my opinion, because it was at 60% and the laptop did not turn on, a bit strange to say the least. So let's take a look at the test that I've done. Maybe I did not look at the results correctly. So you launch the CMD and type the following: power CFG space / battery report. And this makes you a file. It's put C users laptop battery report. And this gives you the report. You have the computer name, system product name, Elitebook 845G8. You have the BIOS version, the operating build. So let's go down. Installed battery, what it is. So you have the design capacity and full charge capacity. Almost the same, 4 less, and the cycle count only 17, which I think would indicate that the battery is new. Now we have the recent usage, active, and report generated. Then I have the usage history, so this stayed. So the active was 168 hours, and I probably forgot to turn the laptop off. And since operating system install, estimate 39 hours. Though I have no idea what kind of active usage this would be. So I think the battery is okay, even though I'm not really sure what happened at the beginning when I turned it on, and it reported 61% immediately after plugging the charger in. Now, speaking of the charger, what do we have? We have some connectors. So we have two power chargers, USB-C. You can charge on both of them, though I think this one is preferred because it is the main one. Then we have the HDMI in. It does work. I have tested this. So you should test all of the different inputs and outputs. So here you have the option F1. It's a quick menu button, so you can maybe extend or duplicate the screens. So here we have split screen, and now we can also maybe extend the displays like this. So we have the left one, the laptop, and the big one on the left. Or you position this however you want. So the HDMI is also A-OK. Now the USB-C, I do have a disk and an adapter. So the disk is working, as you can see, at least on the USB-C. So we can do the test on the USB-A's. Well, we don't have to, I already did, but you have then USB-A's, you should then also test all of the USB-A's. Now this charger came with the USB-C, but here you also have a one for a normal barrel plug, though I do not have it, so I did not test that socket. And on the other side of the laptop, at least on this one, you will have two USB-A sockets and a headphone jack. Now what is this laptop potentially missing? It's an RJ45 socket. So if you do need that, you could get a used Elitebook 840G8. It's basically the same laptop, but it has an Intel CPU. And that one does have the RJ45 socket. Now that is pretty much it when it comes to the list. The only issue that I had was basically coming into the BIOS on this laptop. And one thing that I guess I will have to do, because I do not have any other option right now, is I will have to update the Windows. I guess I will not be showing you how to get into the BIOS. I think what I had to do was basically just smash the F10 key as soon as I powered it on. Now, as you can see, on this laptop I'm also able to play some games. In this specific case, it's Cyberpunk 2077. Is it the best experience? Definitely not, but if I wanted to do it, I am able to. Now I did quickly mention that I got this laptop for business purposes, so I will mostly be using it for Excel, Word and stuff like that. And also I don't need the HDMI output, so I can connect it to a bigger monitor. Now, what does this laptop also have? Does it have anything? Well, it is quite small. It's also quite thin, at least compared to the ThinkBook that I was looking from Lenovo. And anything else that stood out? Well, I can't really open it with one hand. Is that a downside? Not really for me. But it does have additional security that I did not mention. It has a fingerprint scanner. So for the price that I paid, which was 340 euros, I think this is actually the best bang for the buck that I could get, at least in my local market. Maybe you will find a similar laptop for much cheaper, but that depends on your local market and if you want to do some haggling, which in this case I did not. And is this laptop without any blemishes? Well, it has some dent on the top. Now, does this laptop have any flaws? Maybe. I did not find any just yet, and hopefully it stays that way. Currently it's updating, I don't think it's updating the BIOS, it should be updating the Windows. Now, as I mentioned, when it comes to Windows, I will be using Windows 10. It's currently updating to Windows 11 because I did not have the option to just shut it off. So I will see what it actually does. But as you might know, with Windows 11 they've pushed out a bunch of updates and most of the updates are actually bad. They slow down the machine and they also have a lot of security issues. Oh yeah, one more thing. I do not actually use it. I think you have maybe an SD card slot. Now it does have a big hole here. It would be ideal if it was actually covered, but this is for business purposes only. As far as I know, it just says SC. So this HP laptop, the Elitebook 845 G8, is light, it's small, portable, and it's also thin. So that was the primary reason why I got it. Now, if you found this video helpful and would like to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel, and if you have any pointers on what I missed, let me know in the comments down below. That's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.